Hello,
That's
dear
November.
people, my dear brothers, sisters in the world. Here is Mono from the Netherlands again, together with Sam from Australia, with his Enoch 1 flat squared Earth model. And we will talk about today about the moons and other things. So stay with us. And Sam, come in. Thank you for coming in today again. And let's go for video 5.
Well, it is my absolute bloody pleasure, Mono, and it's I'm just grateful again, mate, that you've stuck in there with me, and some of the conversations and some of the information that you've enabled Enoch One to bring forward. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, we are again by the seas of summer in the north. That is one picture we want to talk about, and then we go to the moons and some other things, screen, liquid screens, and that kind of thing. So the stage is yours, mate.
All right. Well, the first slide that you've got up there, Mono, is it's another one that Matt did that, in between talking and the gaps between Australia and the United States, often when I would be asleep, Matt would get busy in his office and he'd churn out some pretty amazing sort of graphics. That chip uh, graphic of our home, the Enoch realm, was one of those that he just had an inspiration to do. Well, this one's another one, and he just went with the Giza pyramid, and as you can see, the capstone. 23.3 intersection, 47% intersection, top of the King's Chamber, Queen's Chamber.
Yeah.
And, it's not something that we can go and say, well, this is fact, because, it's not. We don't go there. But anyone with any gumption at all, look at it. Look at it. It's just crazy how naturally it fits. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, you mean that it is a kind of a copy of the pyramids itself?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our
Yeah.
pyramid is a kind of a copy without the capstone.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
As soon as I seen that and he give me a look at it, I was just like, wow, wow. That is just fantastic. That the synchronicity of this whole Enoch cosmology across the earth in so many fields of sign and symbology, with the White House, even with Trump and his wife dancing on the circle of the earth with the White House in the middle, which in fact is the prism, and they're dancing on it. The symbology is just absolutely everywhere. And when Matt done this, it was just another one that you just can't. Anybody that denies this is really an ostrich. They've got their head in the sand, because it's everywhere. And this is just another extension of that simple observation that Matt brought forward, and I think it was bloody beautiful,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. You can see slightly a little fake under it the pyramid, King's Chamber,
Yeah.
Grand
Mm.
Gallery, and that kind of Queen's Chamber. And yeah, that's not so good to say, but it's an overlay, of course, on that
Mm.
pyramid. So
And the Babylonians, the Chinese, how many cultures? There's so many cultures across time and on Earth that have all got this cosmology. And to be 150% honest, I never ever, for once, as I went through the process with everybody, we went through the process. I never once looked at the other history of Babylonian and so forth, and Mayan, for a square prism sky covered flat square earth. I'd never done it. It was only after that I'd done the painting and a few more graphics down the line that all of a sudden all of these ancient depictions of exactly what we'd brought forward from, reverse engineering the mechanics of the lights and stars and so forth. That all of these depictions come forward, and even for us, as we sat back and watched them coming through, and everyone was picking them up and posting them in the group, it was just amazing that we just realised then that just how certain, 100% certain that we are, that we were getting shown that we were on the truth of our home and where we live. It's amazing. It really is amazing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because this is whole outside of. Sorry, this is whole outside of the box because the round Earth is a little a copy of the UN flag, of course, of the UN logo.
But that's all they've got, and it's all just a psyop.
Yeah.
That's all they've got. They've got nothing else.
Yeah, I thought that the psyop was to divide the people, but there are more psyops into the psyop, so to see.
Yeah. Yes, there is. There's just multi-levels of psyop.
Yeah.
And that's a very powerful thing, again, for people to realise that why have they put so many levels of lie into the deception? Well, there can only be one reason, and that is that the power of a true human spirit to affect change, but only from a very unique position, is dangerous to the control system.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have put the effort into the delusion that they have.
Yeah, there are a lot ways to roam, let us say it that way.
I had a question from Pamela on one of our other videos that you and I have recorded, and just go, oh no, stay there. That's a good one.
Okay.
Stay there. Pam, no, go to that next one because it's got the 2 axis points. Yeah, and just bring up the 2 axis points, please, Mono. Yep, that's good, mate. That's good. See now, Pamela. This is for Pamela. Pamela, I'm down in the south here. I'm an ex.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I will do it this way because here it's better. Okay. That's the same one.
Yeah. I am an ex fisherman, shark fisherman. I spent weeks out at sea, out of view of any land, and always watching the stars. A farmer in my early years on large acreage, like you're talking 30, 40, 50,000 acre farms in Western Australia. And you needed to know the way home because if that tractor broke down or got a puncture or something, then you had to walk. And you don't want to be wasting time in the dark trying to walk home. So you need to know what you're looking at. I know without any shadow of a doubt, I can sit here and watch the southern stars and the Southern Cross, which always point south, as it arcs over my sky. There's a South Star spin. There's no doubt about it. And so on this particular painting, that where you see Southern Cross and where you see the plough, which is Polaris, that is the South Summer. That would be the South Summer because the plough is lower towards the north horizon. Now, when you go to your North Summer, Polaris will come up and the Southern Cross will go down. That's why we can't see the plough in our sky. I think we can see it during the North Summer. I think it is. I'm not 100%. 6 months of the year, some people in Northern Australia can see Polaris because it's coming up from the north horizon, and it's a sign of the star firmament doing this. It's rocking for the seasons, and so we get to see it for 6 months a year, roughly. Very roughly. But you'll look to the north and people will say, yeah, but we can see the Southern Cross. Well, that's because the Southern Cross is higher in the sky. It's not as low to the horizon as Polaris is. That's right.
like this.
That's right.
And then it will
See?
be like this for Polaris.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See? And in my sky, I watch the stars spin at they spin clockwise down here, so they spin clockwise down here this way, say, coming towards me, and then in the north they go anti-clockwise. So it's a very simple thing like this that they spin, and they've got to be there. They give it to us for the ball, for the globe, so they're there, and I can witness mine here. So they're there. 2 axis points. And the other question that you had, Pamela, was sun. Does the sun follow the stars in the rotation, or is it its own separate path? Yeah, look, the sun is in the tracks. It's the window is set in the tracks that we've shown before. So the sun or suns, but the window runs in those tracks, and we can't see the stars when the sun's out because the sun switches the sky globe on, the plasma globe, and we can't see the stars. But they have to be traveling at the same speed because the sun will witness the moon's truth and the moon will witness the sun's truth. And we've got plenty of time lapse, good time lapse of honest P900 users in our group that can show you the stars traveling at exactly the same speed as the moon. Now, that in itself is a powerful truth because it gives meaning, it gives coin to that the stars will roll up like a scroll because somebody knows that it's like a scroll up there. When you watch the sun, the moon and the stars travel at exactly the same speed, then you start to see a scroll. It's like a scroll. But the sun and the moon's inside, the light's in here. So the moon's showing us that it's traveling with the stars. So the sun will do the same thing at the same speed. But we just can't see this. We can't see the stars when the sun's out. So the moon is the one that's evidencing that for us, Pamela. See? In that, so, okay, the two great luminaries move at the same speed as the stars. Okay, that's great. Now, it's not a big thing with the sun, but it does show us that there's a minor stagger in the windows of the sun every 18 Enoch or 20 or 48 hours because there's the precession of the equinox. So the sun is slightly delayed, only slightly every pass or every 48 hours or every month. I'm not 100%, but that's part of the story. But with the moon delays every pass, yet it travels at the same speed as the stars. So how does it manage to get a 45? And we're already picking up some information from the Isle of Man that Bubba, he gets sometimes 20-minute delay from yesterday today, not 45. So there's a variation there as well between north and south, the strength of the projection. But we won't go there right now. That's just another bit of research that people need to pay attention to. Time your delay from today and tomorrow. I'd love people to start timing their delay between the moon's pass. It should be, as per the Helio model, 45 minutes. But we're picking up research now that's showing that in some places it's 25 minutes. Now, that's not good. Anyway, so we need to concentrate on that. Now, back to the moon. And the stars like a scroll. So they evidence each other. But they are only projections in here where the moon is traveling at the same speed as the stars. So is the sun. It's just we can't see the stars. And there is a trick in the rotation of the moons outside. If they're going around north, like if we're looking north-south, they're going around the Earth like this. There's a drop back gear, like a clock. There's a drop back It's a drop back gear that the next moon clicks in and then like a second hand, I think it is, because I was listening. It's like listening to a grandfather clock that'll go click, clock, click, clock. It's a drop back gear, drop back. And this is what the moons do. That's why we have the delay. So to answer that question, sun follow the stars. Well, they're part of the same mechanism outside the sky. So they do travel at the same speed as the star program. And there is 2 star spins on a square flat Earth. And the moon evidences the sun evidences the moon. And Buddha, he didn't lie. There will be 3 things that will not stay hidden. That is the sun, the moon, and the truth. And that's how it is, Pamela. And you can witness it and find honest people down here, or listen to me, or ask me. You can message me, ask me, and I'll answer you any question that you've got, that you can then do your own testing with what you see in your sky. I'll fill you in what I see in my sky. And that way, you can get the picture yourself and prove all things. Yeah. So that one was an important one, I think, Mono.
Okay.
I wanted to answer Pamela. She's very passionate, and she's passionate, and I love it. I love it when I see people like myself that are just passionate.
Yeah, that's a good thing, because otherwise we will come nowhere.
That's right.
We cannot watch and think, okay, and go on. You need to have an understanding, and it is good. I think you explain a lot of things very well. And for me, I'm Dutch. I'm not high educated, but I understand most things. So if I can understand it, most people that speak English understand it better than me anyway. So we are to this. We will go on to another picture, or you want to talk about it?
No. This one is amazingly important.
Okay.
I've got a set of 4 memes actually about this issue. But because I've got it here, I can speak. Now, people, that last year when they had the solar eclipse that the ball globe pushers were trying to propagandize the solar eclipse, they did us a big favour. They done us an absolutely humongous favour in many ways. I've got another meme somewhere. We'll come up against it one day soon. That there's no rhyme or reason to solar eclipses or lunar eclipses. They just happen very sporadically, completely out of time with anything to do with. If it was a helio model, it should happen to the minute, to the second, over whole of history, not just the last 20 years. So eclipses, and we're going to do videos on the eclipses, because in our research group we have awesome work from Don Nordorf and Tyson Vanderpelt that, man, the eclipses are done. They're finished. But my point here is I was watching it, and this inspirational thought came upon me, that in any circle flat Earth that you want to, proponents want to push, they've got a single orb of a moon and a sun cutting ridiculous circles on a flat disc pizza. But if it was an orb is a 360-degree ball of fire, then when whatever it is blocked the front of the sun to cause the solar eclipse, the sky should not have turned black. It should have stayed blue, because the back of the sun is still exposed and still shining on that sky. Yet it didn't. It goes black. That tells us that the source of the sun is outside the blue sky. It's projected in. It's been blocked outside the blue sky. The projection. Do you understand, Mono?
Yeah, I think a little, but what you mean is that if the moon blocks only the sun, everything else need to be light up on the inside, so to say.
Yeah, behind it. Everything behind the sun should be still blue. Yeah. It should be there should not be any black. It should be all blue.
So you say that they have a way, so to say, to block the coming in wave, so to say, from the sun.
Yeah, yes, they do.
So they do something electrical, or
It's an EM. It's an electromagnetic field, no different than it's just a glorified laser. Lasers are working on the same principle. That's all they are.
yeah,
And so all they've got, and I'll lay you money, they've built it in Iraq, in Babylon, on the plains of Shinar. That's where it is.
yeah,
That's where
okay,
one of them are, and
yeah.
that's where they're creating their eclipses from.
Yeah, and then maybe it will be just experimental that they put in every time the eclipse to experiment with their technological stuff, so to say.
Oh, oh, they're not experimenting, mate. They're trying to knock. They're trying to knock the clock out of time.
Yeah,
They're trying to. I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, they're looking to stall the engine.
yeah,
And this is part of their big ploy is eclipses, because they're using two EM fields, as I've shown before. All they've got to do is all they've got to do
I
is
put
two
you on the
magnets.
screen. Yeah,
All they've got to do is two magnets. There's two magnets. Where are we? There. Oh,
yeah,
hang on. I'll catch up to the screen. Two magnets.
yeah,
Two magnets here. I'll go up top. I've got two screens working. So that's north, south, north, south. But if you turn that around, you've got this effect. You've got a north, north, south, south. Two electromagnetic fields. The sun is an electromagnetic field. That's what it is, projected in here. It's frequency and vibration. So what we're seeing with eclipse, we're looking at it from up here, from down here, but they've got an electromagnetic field that they're running across in front of it. And what we see is the eclipse. That's all it
okay.
is.
Yeah, yeah, I
That's
understand that.
all it is. That's all it is. That's your eclipse. So if that's the case, I'll hold it like this. If we're standing down here on the ground, if we're standing down there looking up and see a black sun, from a solar eclipse, this is what I'm saying. If this is the orb of the sun, up here should be still shining bright and blue.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
it can go black underneath,
yeah,
but it should be shining blue up here. What it's saying is they're blocking the projection from entering the sky.
yeah, yeah.
And it debunks every single flat earth theory that's out there now. There isn't one that can stand up to that observation. Not one. I mean, we've got other observations as well, as people are going to see shortly. But that one there, excuse me, people. I'm sorry for the noise in my mic, people. It's very bloody sensitive, and I just want to relax and talk so that I can keep my chain of thought processing. But this debunks everything. There is not one flat Earth out there that can stand up to this. Not one. Only Enoch has. Enoch's the only one, and he names the projections. So it's a big thing. And never forget, we've got two axis spins, people. Two axis of the celestial sphere. Now, so I hope that that may help people. I mean, we've got projections in here. The solar eclipses absolutely prove it. No doubt about it. Even the lunar eclipses. I caught the lunar eclipse from in Israel over the Sea of Galilee about 3 years ago. They had 3 lunar eclipses consecutively 3 nights in a row. 3 lunar eclipses, 3 blood moons in 3 nights in a row over the Sea of Galilee. That's impossible on any globe, and it's impossible on any freaking flat Earth, to be honest with you. It's impossible, because it's what it's saying that is what the timing hasn't changed for 3 days for that perfect alignment. No, see, it's showing their manipulation. That's what it's doing. It's showing us that the eclipses are man-made.
Yeah, I think you are right with that. Yeah, it's ridiculous, all that kind of things. They want control everything, and we know that. So I think you are on the right spot with this. Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Occam's razor.
Yeah.
The easiest, most common sense answer to the problem
Yeah.
has to be the truth.
Yeah. Of course. Of
Instead,
course.
what they want to do in this Aristotle head games lying mess is they want to create 15, 30, 100 different excuses for what is a very simple friggin' answer. The back of the sun should still light the sky, and it doesn't. Means it's a projection. Goodbye to all their theories.
Yeah.
That simple.
No, great, great. Um, I think we go to the next one.
Yeah, please, mate, please.
Okay. Uh,
This one.
Truth is the heart's poetry. Poetry is nearer the vital truth than history. Plato. When a man understands the sun, moon, and stars, he is taken to another world. Yes, really. And
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, that one there is one that I don't worship Plato, but I have the absolute most respect for Plato above most. First Enoch, then Plato. The truth is the heart's poetry, and it's what it is. Poetry is nearer the vital truth than history, and that is the truth. I read with Plato that he said poetry corrupts the heart, and when I first read that, I thought, wow, that's a powerful statement. Poetry, it's supposed to be beautiful and sweet and lovely. But then I sat back and thought about it over a little bit of time, and he's right. Poetry is no different than music. What is music? They rhyme. They use poetry in music, and it corrupts the heart. And when you do understand how the sun, the moon, and the stars work, it does take you to a whole new world, because you've got the realm doing this, Polaris and Southern Cross, and the sun moving with them. The sun's projection, I've just finished that last slide, it's projected in here from another realm, as is the orb of heaven from a window, and it's projected in here. And when these two guys move, so does the sun. They move like this, and it takes you to a whole nother realm, because it's showing us that there is another realm above us. The realm of the gods is above us. There's no if, buts, or maybes. By understanding the sun, the moon, and the stars, that's what it shows you. Then you can go to the textbooks, whether it be the Quran, the Bible, or other places. You can go there then, Buddhism, and all of a sudden everything starts to make sense. Everything comes together like a beautiful puzzle, and it's all comes together. It's a beautiful thing. So when you do understand, you are taken to another realm. I know I'm incredibly grateful that what I've been shown, but I can sit here now, and I don't belong here. For what I've been able to see, it's an amazing thing. It makes me feel often that I don't belong here now. It just doesn't gel with me anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that feeling. I have that feeling always since I'm a young child. Let us say it that way. And
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people have the thinking of I don't belong here. Yeah, if they are really in a prison and put in here, but maybe just for the good thing, of course, because if you are on the outside, like you say, the gods on the outside, you need also
Mm-hmm.
people on the inside, you know.
Well, I think the reason we feel that we don't belong here, it's not that we don't actually belong inside here in our realm. It's
Yeah,
ours.
yeah,
We were given dominion here, but we don't belong in this realm as it is. We don't belong in this system. This system is so wrong, and we can feel it.
yeah,
We can feel it.
yeah,
That
yeah,
it's just really bad. It's really badly wrong.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You mean that we belong here, but the system but doesn't belong here.
No, the
So
system doesn't belong here.
yeah, so to say, yeah.
It doesn't belong here at all.
Okay, next slide.
Please, mate.
Yeah, okay. We
Oh
go
yeah. Oh
plasma,
yeah.
3 TeV, electron transport layer, organic emitters, Hall injection layer, metal cathode, sun and star outer sphere, 2 to 10 volt DC input, desired prism
Picture.
wall, surface
Yeah.
C, the blue beam, light output, and lights, camera, X and Earth, and Ezekiel's wheel. Yeah, and
Ezekiel's wheel.
Ezekiel's wheel, yeah. Okay, so go on, mate.
Well, I was just curious one day, and with my painting and the meme that's coming up next, I was just curious one day. I thought, well, molten metal sphere. The sky is plasma, and I've got a 75-inch plasma TV downstairs. And I went, wow. I wonder if there's any correlation. I wonder if there's any pattern to this. And this, when I brought up the workings of a plasma TV, and voila. Um, Once again, virtually, this is where Project Bluebeam will come into play, and we're seeing these funny things happening in the sky. Is basically we're living inside a glorious, fantastic plasma TV, and they're working out ways that they can project pictures in the sky, but also I would say on the sky, using the sky as the screen. And people, if you think that that's rich or a little bit far-fetched, then you'll see the next slide. But also, I've often said to people, and nobody's realised what's going on, but this whole Pokemon Go, do you know that one, Mono?
Yeah, that's the game. And I see a lot of
Right,
people walking outside, getting Pokemons here and there, and that's a little
right.
crazy. Then I think you are really an idiot.
Well,
You
you
know.
think about that a little bit. You just think about that a little bit. The powers that be that are in control of this realm right now, what they're doing is they're actually playing with people. They're playing with their technology, because I can sit here, and if they put the most valuable Pokemon on Earth and they put it on my knee, they said, righto, that's where it is. It's on my knee. Here it is, right here. This is it. This stapler is that Pokemon, but you can't see it. But yet you could have 10,000 people with their mobile phones all converge on me. They'll all converge from everywhere, from hundreds of, kilometres and kilometres away.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they'll all converge on me. And that Pokemon, their phones will register that Pokemon on my knee. That says to me that they are able to imprint on the electric matrix that we're living in. They can actually imprint the matrix now, that there is a Pokemon there. There's a Pokemon on my knee. I
Yeah,
can't see it, but every single mobile phone within 30 kilometres can. So that
yeah,
Pokemon is there.
yeah.
That Pokemon is there.
Yeah.
So that's showing us that slide that we're looking at is real. And they're playing with it now. This is how advanced their technology is. And nobody's looking. Even the truth is, huh? What? They're going to sleep. And yet there it is. It's right in your face. They're rubbing your nose in it, saying, ha ha ha, you dumb sheep.
Yeah.
Look how much control we have now already, and you don't even bloody know it, because you're too stupid being arguing and not thinking correctly. And yet there it is, right in front of you. Pokemon Go is showing you that this is what we live in, a plasma TV.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right with that. Yeah, and they are way in front of with the technology. We are maybe 100 years behind for
I
knowing
reckon.
what they have.
Oh, exactly. I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah,
Especially out on those hidden lands. I think that's what they're using a lot of slaves for, is building. They're building all of these so-called extraterrestrial craft.
yeah,
Well, they're not extraterrestrial, because there's no getting in or out of the sky. That sky is a jail. So there's no getting in or out. Those craft are built by critters, by what I call, hook noses, the occult. And who's building them? Well, there's a lot of people going missing. So you're going to find that that's where they're building them. It's mystery Babylon. You know, it's the mother of confusion, Babylon, and this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Enoch 1 exposes it all. See, this is why I'm not invited to go on this show or that show or this show or that show, because they don't want the real truth. They just want all of their bullshit truths. They don't want the real truth. Real truth hurts.
Yeah. And sets you free at the same time.
At the same time.
But first it hurts.
It does.
Yeah.
It pisses you
Yeah.
off. What's that saying, Mono?
Yeah.
There's that saying that the truth will set you free, but first it's going to piss you off.
Yeah.
And it does.
Everybody that want to be beautiful need to be heard in the first place.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And a diamond, when we see a diamond all shiny and glittering, I mean, it didn't start out life as a diamond all shiny and glittering. It started off as a rock.
Yeah.
And it had to be buffed. It had to have all the rough edges taken off before it could shine.
Yeah.
And I think that's very, very, very similar to us. And that's what we've got to do.
Yeah.
We've got to have all of the rough edges taken off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy. It is because you need to see that you are an idiot before you can see the truth. Yeah, and that's the first thing that I did see when I came to the flat Earth, and I did also into the look. I am not a fixed believer. I am a theorist, and I could not check the knowledge myself of the EA map in the way that I wanted to. I did check something with the moon, sun, that kind of thing. But it is, you need to be you need to control your ego to see that you are an idiot and that you learned all upside down. And if you cannot control your ego, you will never see that all is upside down and inside out and mirrored, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The ego is that is their greatest tool. Is they actually created such an ego in us.
Yeah.
They created it and they feed it. They need us to have that ego because the ego blinds us.
Yeah.
I know all of the information that I've ever been shown does not come from my ego. It only ever comes from dreams or vision, or it comes from my heart. You know, inspirational thought, intuitive thought. It's not from my ego, not at all.
No.
So it's not me. This isn't me. This isn't me that's done all of this. This is just something that the world needs to see.
Yeah, given to you. So let it say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next slide, buddy.
Okay. There we go, mate.
Hang on. Where's the realm one? Where's the pair? No, the pair to that. Go back one. The pair to that one. Remember I said there's two slides that need to be together?
Let me see what I did.
Because people need to see that one after that one.
Which one you mean? I don't know.
The one of my painting.
Yeah.
But it's showing how it's used as a plasma TV.
No, that is only this one that I have.
Yeah, but I did when we were looking, and I said you need to take the two of them together.
No, sorry, I don't have it then, I think.
All right.
Okay.
Well, for anyone watching, that the painting of our home, Enoch 1, with the two axes and so forth that we were looking at, is exactly the same makeup as that screen, with the outer metal sphere, the Sha'a'im, which is the all-encompassing energy, electric energy of the Most High Host of Heaven. That's it. Is outside our prism and inside the circle of the Earth, inside the star circumference, the star, what have I called it, celestial sphere. So the Sha'a'im is between our sky on the outside and the inside of the sphere. That's the Sha'a'im. Then you get to Ezekiel's wheel, which is the planets, the wandering stars all spinning around. And then you come to the prism, which is the sky.
Yeah. I will go
and you can see how...
Yeah, the prism.
There. So then you can see that basically all we're living in is a plasma electric TV. That's what we're living in. There you go.
Yeah.
Everything's a counterfeit on Earth.
Oh.
So that was important to get.
Sorry, mate. I did.
No,
I did not
don't
see
be.
it. No.
Oh, good.
Okay, but
Oh, good.
this will be the
So
next
and here
one.
we go. This is, one of the most powerful truths of all time. I can remember on the last place where I was renting on a farm, and I walked out one night, and I walked out to a gazebo where I sit on my, like this place, like my office, and I walked out and I looked up and enjoyed a beautiful bright blue moon, a beautiful bright moon, and it was going over the right-hand side of the house, going east-west. It was going over the right-hand side of the house. It was fantastic. So then, no worries, I got in and I was doing a lot of my truth stuff then. The next night I came out, roughly about the same time, and because of the night before, I looked up at about the same place and I couldn't see the moon anywhere. And I went, well, what's going on here? And so I sort of started to spin around, and I was standing in exactly the same position as I was the previous night. And I looked and found the moon, and the moon was traveling over the left-hand side of my house. So from where it went down one day, the previous day, it came up about 30 degrees changed in its position. So where it went down, it came up in a completely different position. Now the ball's gone, absolutely gone. The globe is gone. It's defunct. It's gone. On this alone, again, and anyone can prove this. All you need is a compass and stand in one spot, but the compass will help you. Stand in one spot, measure where the moon rises at one position on the horizon for 28 days, and you'll see this happen before your very eyes. The moon jumps, and it debunks the circle as well. But in Enoch, chapter 73, he describes it exactly as it happens, and it happens in increments. The easiest way to show people or get people to see is you've got to look for the 7-day jumps. So it starts at the new moon. The moon will come out of the same gate, the same track as the sun. But then it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on the 8th one, jump. It'll come up in a different position. It'll come up depending on whose summer it is. Mine, I think it comes up in 3. If south. If it's north, it'll come up in 4 because it's a balance gate. It's the balance gate. Then it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on the 8th pass, it'll jump right out to the other side, away from the sun. And these jumps, I put 20% there because I didn't want to over-exaggerate, because there is minor adjustments in the system through the year, through each lunar cycle. But whenever you see it, you will, and you can't help but see it, especially in the summer or winter, because that's when there's so many of the gates are open. There's 5 gates open that the moon can jump through. If it's at equinox, that it's a very small space that you'll only see 10 and 20, usually about 10-degree jumps. But now, right now, if people are to get their compass and watch that horizon, you're going to see 20 and 30-degree jumps from one day to the very next. Come up. That's huge. Yeah. It's massive. And this is all in chapter 73 of 1 Enoch, Ethiopian version, 1 Enoch. And don't listen to people talking about bloody 13 months. I mean, I've never heard so much garbage. And I've got to say it. Zen Garcia, he's a wolf, people. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He sits in a wheelchair making you feel sorry for him. He's a bloody liar. 13 months. How the hell do you get 13 months when there's only 12 cycles? And you can bloody watch the moon yourself, and there's only 12 cycles. It's bullshit to even entertain the idea. Is insane, to be honest. And yet he's got thousands of people buying books and following him like sheep, and yet it's a bloody lie. Just
Yeah,
watch yourself.
yeah, because
You can only have 12 months if there's 12 cycles, and that is all there is. So people, please, I don't want to say that. I don't want to criticize or judge people. I don't. But this has to be said. This idea of 13 months, people, you really do need to pull your head out of your butt, because it's just ridiculous. All it does is show your ignorance, because you're not watching the sky, you're watching YouTube. The sky, there's 12 cycles. That's it. There's not 13. So, and that's the end of it. And then once you assess that and know that, then the liars start to appear. Anyone that even goes close to proposing that Enoch says there's 13 months is nothing but a blatant bloody liar, as I'm going to show you very shortly. In probably almost the next meme, or very soon, I will show people.
yeah, I think that in Enoch 1, the Slavic part, that is, let's call it in Enoch 2 book, that is the Slavic part, and there they have...
That book's fake.
Yeah,
That
but
book is fake.
I think that
It's fake.
book have the 30 months maybe, because that's
It's fake.
365.6
Yeah,
hours. Yeah,
yeah, that's right, which is the Gregorian system.
yeah, right.
And that proves it's fake.
Yeah, that's what where I talked about in the beginning. You have the Ethiopian version Enoch and the Slavic Enoch.
I went and had a look at it. And I got about halfway through, and I couldn't watch anymore. I couldn't read anymore. I just thought, oh my God. People have got to realize it's only the Ethiopian one Enoch is the only credible Enoch.
Yeah, that's what I...
The rest are all Confucianists.
Yeah, that's what I did ask in one of the first videos, because of the difference. It's an Ethiopian and a Slavic, and the Slavic is just the Gregorian model,
Yes.
and the Enoch Ethiopian is the good model, so to say.
Yeah. Well, it's the only model. It's the only one, because it was the only book that was hidden in the Ethiopian Bible. None of the others were. All of this rubbish about the Qumran caves and all this garbage. Come on, people. The occult are running amok on you. You know, everything was found between, 1940 and 1945, or 1935 and 1945. And is that just coincidence or what? No, it's no coincidence.
No.
They knew that Enoch 1 was out there, and that one Enoch has the truth in it. So they've busted their ass trying to confuse the crap out of everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for being so passionate, but I mean, this is my passion. Yeah. Enoch 1, and it's a physically proven book. This slide tells you, and we'll show you more, but it proves it, and you can prove it physically 6,000 years in the future for a successful generation. Well, I want to be that successful generation. Now, and that means that we've got to stick to our guns. We've got to stay by Enoch, and we've got to protect it, because they've put in a big effort into confusing Enoch.
Yeah.
So I apologise for being a little bit passionate there, Mono.
No, things that need to be said need to be said. That is.
I think so. Sometimes.
Yeah. Of course. Okay. Do you think I was thinking about it because of the moons around? Do you think there are more moons, just like a paintball? You know, you can you can shoot the moon, but there is already a moon ready to go the second part.
Yes, that's sort of what I'm saying about a drop back gear.
Yeah.
The moon is the timekeeper, old man time. That's why the moon was called old man time, because the moon is the timekeeper, and it's like that. There's like another gear ready to pop, as we've got to find the relays. It's only through the study of, and there's multiple wanderers. People think there's only one Jupiter, one Saturn, blah, 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 blah. There's not. There's more. There's at least two of each. If not, there could be 4 Venus and 2 Jupiter, 2 Saturn, 2 Mars. You know, there's multiple, and we've got to uncover this. We've got the evidences we need already to say that I can say this with complete confidence, and anyone can do it. We've already sort of proven that there is dual and multiple wanderers, which are the leaders. And when you say leaders, what they are is they're the leaders for the moons. They're the selectors of the gearbox, and they will jump before the moon jumps. We're not sure yet on the timing, but you know, I'm surmising, guessing 2 days, 4 days before the moon jumps that you will see. And I think it's probably Saturn and Jupiter that are the 2 main leaders of the moons. And you'll watch Saturn and Jupiter, and they will jump 2 or 4 days before the moon jumps. They are the leaders. They set the path. They're the selectors of the gearbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where Venus and Mercury are more to do with the sun's window. The sun's window, Venus and Mercury, I believe, are like the relays to open and shut the sun's window to allow the tower in, the beam in.
Okay, great. I go to the next one, I think. People do understand how it works, and they jump like this to here. And I did see
They
that.
do.
I did record it, but I could not find it because I said already I have so much footage. But if I can find it, I make a video of it small that we can put in, because I think that I have it for real. So let's go to the next one. We go to the moons. One moon, 360-degree darkness, black all the way around. 10:57 p.m. 17 April
17th
2000,
to the 4th.
yeah, to the 17th, and this is 8:45 a.m. in California, USA. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and here we have to Southeast Queensland, Australia, 11:15 p.m. and 3:20 p.m. in Germany. So, I think it speaks for itself. We have 2 moons, one in the light and one in the dark.
So many people struggle with this. You know, this Hegelian dialectics or dielectrics of the 2 lobes of the brain come into play here. So many people forget. They don't know Occam's razor. They don't know that the most obvious and simple assessment of an observation is the truth. Instead, they try and make excuses, try and build a theory that makes it possible for one luminary to do this. It's not possible. It's just not possible. You cannot have one moon in the dark, complete dark, and one in complete light. You cannot. It has to be 2. 1, 2. It has to be 2. And people need to just get over it and get on with it, because we've got bigger and better things to discover than just sit around worrying and trying to invent excuses. There's no excuse to be invented. 1 in the dark, 1 in the light. That's 2 moons. Move on.
Yeah, I see that too in the ball movement. If I talk about the flat Earth, then they also try to make excuses for why it is that way and that kind of things. It's in the ball crazy movement the same. Yeah. Okay.
And just, you know, when you're looking at this slide here, we have recorded it now numerous times.
Yeah.
It's beyond any doubt. There is no doubt.
Yeah.
You can do it. People can do it anywhere, and do it yourself. And this again debunks everything to do with the circle flat Earth, the azimuthal equidistant. It's gone, and so is the ball.
Yeah.
They are both gone, and so is every other flat Earth make and model. Only Enoch 1 has taken into account observable, measurable, and repeatable observations, and we have thought it out. We have back engineered it, and we have uncovered what is our truth.
Yeah. Yeah. So people can see it here, the dark one at the top, and we go from here: dark, light, and light and dark, and fail for the ball for real. And I will go to the next.
There's no coming back, and this is what people need to need to realize that this one observation, cannot be argued about. It
No.
cannot, by any ball proponent or any azimuthal equidistant liar, because there's people, you got to realize there's tens of thousands of people paid to lie on, to push that pizza azimuthal equidistant as well. But this one observation alone, again, completely leaves them void of any answers. They have no answers for this, and it debunks everything and shows us the truth. Enoch named all the projections into our realm, and he did that on purpose because they're projections.
Yeah.
And he was showing us to think. He was asking us, think, work this out, guys. You've got to work this out to understand where you live. And then you've got to understand who you are in it. And then you well may be able to stop this from happening.
Yeah, there are already videos about that it is projection, because you can see a kind of wave going over it, and then it moves a little bit, and again a new wave, and it moves a little bit, and then a new wave, and it moves a little bit to the right or to the left, what you want.
Yeah.
And there are already videos from it.
Yeah, well, I won't say the name of his channel, but that's Cass Kring. And I've had the misfortune of having to argue with him online on numerous occasions until he blocks me.
Okay.
He's well paid.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I did see more people met more videos about it, but it can be, because if you say it is digital, it looks how you see it on the video. It's only one, but it looks
Yeah, I
digital
agree.
way. Yeah, yeah.
I
So
agree. I'm not going to get too heavy on him, because it actually does do us a favour,
yeah,
because
yeah,
it gives people plants the thought, it plants the seed in their mind that we're dealing with a light, purely a light, a digital light, and that is a good seed to be sown.
yeah, yeah. Because you can see stars through it too. So
That's right. There's
yeah,
another one.
yeah, yeah.
You've only got to look at all the what is it, the Stan, all the countries with Stan. Most of them have got the crescent moon with the star in the middle,
Yeah.
shining through it. Tell me they don't know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I understand. Yeah, there is also people talk about. People can see Australia 11:20 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. in Britain, and we go to the next one. And you
Yep.
want to talk about this one again?
Well, this one here, I'll talk about it a little bit slower, because you shocked me. You shocked me, Mono.
Okay.
When you landed it on me there last night, I kind of go, oh, shit, oh, shit. Where'd that one come from?
Yeah.
Because this one here is, it's not a gentle diagram, really. I mean, it is a powerful. He did do another drawing too, and the other drawing was of the eagle that the Russian flag has now, and the Rothschilds have, and that was the eagle that this particular Jesuit priest drew, and it was over 500 years ago that he drew this. Now, where that arrow is, as you can see, you've got to understand their symbology, the occult symbology. I've over the years now, I can look at their drawings and almost read what they're telling each other. They're not telling us; they're telling each other. So I understand their code, not completely, because it's pretty twisted stuff. But this one, the arrow is equity, and the sun at the top is source. That is, as is the orb of heaven. And if you look at the moons either side spinning like a hurricane or a cyclone, that is your 369 of Tesla, the Merkaba of the lights, the magnetic energy of the lights. And that Jesuit must have put a lot of time into this drawing, because this is a very intricate drawing of what I see down here of phases of the moon, and what you see, Mono, up there in the north of phases of the moon. And you'll notice, just like our photos that we get when we do sync shots of my moon being flipped opposite to your moon.
Yeah.
And now this Jesuit's over 500 years ago, he's recorded it. He's recorded it there. That's what he's recorded.
Yeah.
And that in itself too, people, I'll put a little ad in here, the moon, where the sun and the moon come in, they land on a level and ascend to the level where the wind blows. That's only 38,000 feet, people, at zenith, I would say, which is 12 kilometers. That's at its highest point of the wave as it travels over the top of you. So the reason I say that, at 38,000 feet, when you're looking at this and that arrow through the middle of equity, and yet Mono gets the moon flipped the opposite way to what I get down here, and yet they're only 12 kilometers in the sky, and yet we're probably, we could be 10,000 miles between Mono north and me south. So it's all about a projected light and how it flips from the magnetics over the equity line, the equal magnetic line. Now this is how powerful this particular picture is. And that's why I say to you, when you brought it on last night, I kind of choked. I went, oh, shit. Yeah. Where did you pull that one from, buddy?
Yeah, I did take it out of here, of course. Yeah.
It's a good picture, isn't it? I mean, as I try and explain that there, the outside, I'm not sure really what's happening there on the outside of that egg. But, you know, again, you could put our cosmology. There's the circle of the Earth looking through. And there's the moons going all around the world. How many have we got there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28.
Yeah.
See? All the phases. And then on the inside, where we're living, you can guarantee he's got all the phases all sorted out in those two spinning vortex in there. So that is a very well drawn drawing of somebody that knew what was happening inside our home.
Because it says Sciatericum Selania Cumsic Lunar Expansi.
I'd be interested on anyone like Pamela or anyone that would translate that Latin. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I can search for it. I will also put links from the Book of Enoch PDF and maybe for the MP3 if I can find it, so that people can go to it. That is more easy maybe. I go to the next slide.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember the. I can't remember. This is a good one too. I can't remember the version, but I think is it R.H. James or Charles? The version of Enoch that we searched high and low for months to find the absolute best translation that we could find, and I think it was the R.H. Charles. I'm not sure, but it's actually missing 3 chapters.
Okay.
And Matthew Beringer, I mean, he's my inspiration when it. Who wrote it?
Richard Lawrence, London, translated, translated from Ethiopic by Richard Lawrence. I will make it bigger, wait a minute so you can see it too. Yeah, Richard Lawrence, London, 1883.
Yeah, see, I think that's the printing house. Because when he found it in Ethiopia, a British guy, when he found it, he raced back to Britain and he put it through the printing presses and printed off hundreds of thousands of copies of it as quick as he could.
Okay.
But anyway, okay. So this slide. This is one of the slides when I was first getting hit with the idea that we have 2 moons. Because, I mean, people, you got to remember that I didn't want to have to be the one that tried to tell everyone, hey, you got 2 moons, come on, you know. I fully knew that everyone was going to brand me as butt naked crazy. But then I come across this particular slide, and there's a few like it. Were being bantered around the azimuthal equidistant flat Earth controlled groups everywhere. You know, they're trying to show how the moon flips, and they're really trying to just bamboozle everybody. But when I seen it, I went, look at that, look at that. They've actually helped us, because all of these moon sync shots that they wanted to show everyone, they actually are showing us. There's light, there's dark. There's light, there's dark. They put the truth where? They put the truth right in front of your face, so you don't see it. And there it is. This is actually azimuthal equidistant lie meme. That's their meme. And they put it right in our face, that there is two moons. And so when I started to spot it and pick it, they stopped putting them out. They stopped all of these day-night syncs. They made sure that they either had day-day or night-night to for their time sync moonshots. So that's a good meme, you know.
Yeah. It is Queensland, Australia, Florida,
Mm-hmm.
US, and Derbyshire, UK to Florida. Austria and Florida and New Zealand, yeah, together.
Mm-hmm.
And these two
Mm-hmm.
are sync shot for the people. The right top near each other and the lower right near each other. But this I think shot too also on the same side. I think. Yeah, and this one too.
Yep.
So we go to the next one. This is Victoria, Australia, and this is also, and then you go down to Tennessee, USA, and this is Australia again, and it is in the big one, so to say. Yeah. So these are the
Yep.
small ones of this one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
Uh,
very
yeah.
self-explanatory.
Yeah.
See how the moon flips, and
Yeah.
it's only 38,000 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and yet it's from Australia to Tennessee.
Yeah.
So it's flipping over the, you know, it's holographic, and it's flipping over the equity line.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did understand that already now because I have the pictures, of course. Here are
Mm-hmm.
the same East Australia, Brisbane, and here is Sing Tampa, Florida, I think. And you can see here a straight line and must be flat Earth, you know. And here the same thing, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
that one on the left is actually mine, and the one on the right is Donna Wenker.
okay, okay. Thanks for Donna then for put the energy in it.
Oh, look, there's much thanks I give to Donna Wenker. She has done a fantastic job. She stood by me through thick and thin. She's been right up there at my shoulder. She's amazing. She's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, you need some people that are want to work together because most people don't want to work together. They only want to spill their story, and what I say before, a lot of people will follow, you know. And I did look at
Mm.
myself, and I'm a copy guy, and I mean with that I never did be a car mechanic, but I learned be car mechanic by copy the things that I see, take it apart, and put it together, you know. And you need to be a little technical, but we are copy guys, and we need to stop copy all flawlessly.
Yeah.
We did already on school, we did already with the ball, we did already with a lot more things. So stop the copying and think for yourself. And
Yeah.
you can copy things because some people, if you think this is right, you will copy it too. So, but you need to check it for yourself.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, maybe
Couldn't agree with you more, Mano.
maybe someone is also in Australia and you have a friend in Europe. Do the same together and try it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
But just make sure that who you're dealing with are honest. I
yeah,
mean, if you've got friends in whatever other country, and you say to them, "Look, the South Star spin on the circle is impossible," and they turn around and attack you, and tell you and talk to you just like a ball trial, then you know they're a liar. Because the South Star spin on the azimuthal equidistant is totally 150% completely impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that
You've got to
people.
test them.
It is not especially a liar, but people have fixed beliefs, so they want to keep their beliefs. Yes, but it is that. But for real, they did only follow the narrative, or how we call it.
Well, I agree with you,
Yeah, yeah,
Mono. I do agree with you. But if somebody is well studied and a good thinker, and you introduce the idea, look, the South Star spin's impossible. Please go and have a think about it. But if they attack you and attack you and attack you, then you
yeah.
know they're not honest.
No.
And then the latest invention is this. What do they call them? How we've got 3 separate star spins on around the circle wall. They call them OCAMs. What do they call them? Oh, it's bloody ridiculous. Anyway, keep going, mate. Keep going.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
okay. We come to a very important one about the jumps of the gates. Enoch 1,
Yes.
chapter 27, moon switching gates. Moon jumps, electromagnetic shift, just like a car. And here, please answer this. Please, the answer is simple. Sky stops stars, why not the moon? Stars and moon are both in space, outside our sky, aren't they? And blue sky is the cause that the stars can not be seen during the day, yes? How is it that the moon is at all possible to see inside the blue sky during the day? Yeah, and that's speak for himself, for itself, I think.
It does when they're telling us that the moon is 240 odd thousand, 384,000 kilometres
Yeah, yeah,
outside the blue sky,
yeah,
and yet we can see it inside the blue sky.
yeah,
Yet when the blue sky is there, we can't see the stars.
yeah, yeah.
Come on. That is just so basic. I just want to encourage people. Use this tiniest little bit of thinking power that you have, and all of a sudden it'll grow. Once you start seeing some basics, your mind will come back to you. You will then start to own your own mind again.
Yeah, and for the people that already did look, this will make it all very logic. Because for me,
Yeah,
it's a kind of logic when you came up to with this kind of things, and when I did see the
yeah,
picture, it became
yeah,
more logical for me, so to say. And I did
yeah,
learn a lot from a lot of people like Eric Dubé, Skiba, Jeranism, and that kind of things. But okay, they are maybe on the wrong model, and let's see if we can take them with us, because I think we all go for the truth in the end. If you are the
righto.
shield, you won't. But if you are not a shield and you are, and most people are just follower. I need to
Yep,
add a little thing that people like a leader, to have a leader. I don't like to have a leader. I want to think for myself. I don't want to follow and say, okay, it's pure truth. But I did talk about it with people, about the round earth with a circle and a wall around it, and okay, that was wrong, because I did
so did I.
also copy the narrative, so to say, the
Hmm.
storyline that is brought to us, because
Mm.
also because it was out of books. Eric de Bay did the talk out of books, but for real, that books are also already written by people maybe in the Freemasonry and call it. You never know,
Yeah.
of course, So I say have
Mm.
no fixed belief. Only see as always info, just like I said in the video before, and think for yourself. But no fixed belief is very important. You cannot have a fixed belief.
Yeah.
If you come to the truth, then you can say, I believed it. But also then, maybe things are a little other way. Because also you cannot look to outside and outside the prism and look how all exactly work. It's we pointing to it, let us say it that way, and the people can help if they want. Links are in the description from the Facebook from Sam and from its channel, and that's what it's all about. We Sam liked to have people that come and help him and that are knowledgeable and that are in a technical way also very gifted and that kind of thing.
Well,
So
I think most people are gifted. It's just a matter of being honest. Just because Enoch shows so many truths, but every time he shows truths and the realm shows us a truth, then it also shows us more lies.
yeah,
And one thing that really does annoy me is that people that come in and in the group I ask the question to join, are you willing to study the information and research of the group? Well, if somebody answers yes, but then they start talking just utter rubbish without studying the information first,
yeah,
then
yeah.
that's a bit annoying, you know.
Yeah. I didn't read the book of Enoch also for a while, but that was because I will to give you the chance to go online. But if you are a bugger, please don't try to come in the group because you are thrown out
Yes, yes.
in a nanosecond. Let us say it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
because
absolutely.
if you want to find out and if you have questions, everybody can ask questions. Of course, Sam is ready for questions, but of
Honest
course he do not
questions.
know everything. That's why we need
Nah.
or he need help, and I think he did go a long way already, and I think he explained it very well. So if you are ready for it to come to the group and think about it, that's great. But no buggers, because as I said, in a nanosecond you will be out of the group without any message given, because that's not
No.
a. It need to be a peace group and not to be a
Yep.
buggers group, and that's
No.
what it's all about, I think. So we go to the
Pe-
next
pe-
picture.
People can't learn, and this is my thing when I first started it, because I had I had about 4 or 5 groups that I'd built around the circle flat Earth, and they all had 2,000-3,000 people in them back then, and this is 3.5 years ago. And when azimuthal equidistant pushers, I call them, they had my then account Ned Kelly deleted because they couldn't argue against this next meme that we're going to explain.
Yeah.
And so the only way they felt that they could stop me was delete my Facebook account, and they did. So I started. Then when I got back online on this account. I went to go back into admin of those groups, and the people that I semi-trusted called me all the names under the sun and blocked me from my own groups, and then claimed the groups for themselves.
Yeah.
So that's when I started up this Ethiopian Enoch Flat Fact Earth group for research, and I cleaned it out of all confusionists that want to try and stop us from getting to the truth. And so I also made a pact with myself that the group's not there for arguing. It's just not there for arguing. If you want to be asked legitimate, honest questions, great. Then you'll get a legitimate, honest answer. But don't repeat yourself, repeat yourself, repeat yourself, repeat yourself. I've had it with people. Oh, but what about the Pacific cruises? My uncle and my great-great-granddad and my sister, and they'd start this rubbish of trying to tell me through nobody that anyone knows their words are above the sun and the moon. And straight away, I just block them. Bye. Go away. Go and pick up your paycheck, because that's all you are.
Yeah.
And so I'm sorry for being forceful, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah, you need to be.
I'm not there to play games. I'm there to get to the truth.
But you need to be, because it's and that is what I find very annoying. It's a fight about it. Yeah. If you are a flat earther, you want to know the truth, and that's what it's all about. Okay.
That's all. Now, this next meme, this is a beautiful meme that Tyson put this one together, and I think it's fantastic. He's a bit of a rev head. He loves he's a petrol head, loves his cars and his motors and his gearboxes, And, you know, as we've taken the journey on watching the moons jump and the tracks and everything else, and then, as I said earlier on about the wanderers being the leaders of they're the leaders, they're the selectors. And, you know, this is very close to what people can observe anywhere on Earth. If you look at the center of that meme, and if you were to look at your house, then this is what you will see. And so you can imagine that the moon coming up, say, on the complete right-hand side of your house, then you come out the next night and it's coming up 1, 2, 3, 4 positions to the left from where it was last night. And this is what's happening. Yeah. It's a gearbox.
Yeah.
Ezekiel's wheels have been looking at us the whole time.
Yeah, this is made by who, this painting?
Tyson.
Okay, by Tyson. Okay. And what you mean is it can start on the right side in gate 6 and it jumps to 4 or 3 in one jump in one line in one day, so to say. Yeah, and that's what I did see. I did see it go bang. So like that. Yeah. And then it goes
it makes you sit down and go, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just a gearbox. That's how the motor works, of course. Say 5, 6, 3, 4, 1, 2. So to say, that is of order, of course. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
It's amazing stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one.
Then we come to this one. I will make it bigger if you want. Do I need to read it?
No, not really, because you don't need to. People can read that one. This is the visual of the moon's jumping from one day to the next, 20, 30 degrees on the horizon. Now, this is impossible, again, on any theory, fantasy of flat Earth or of a globe, ball, oblique, spheroid Earth.
Yeah.
This is impossible. But this is the physical truth. This is what happens. And it happens in brackets of 7, which, funny enough, is the code of Sabbath. See? And the Jews that they call themselves Jews but are not, and they're not Jews. And I'm tired of people that rattle off all this bullshit. Anyway, so this is a graphic to show you that there's the flat Earth, then the moon is going out of our sight. It's going down past the side of the Earth, the edge of the Earth, over the rims, and there's a trigger mechanism down there. There's as they go around, there's a trigger mechanism, a selector, clunk, and the whole thing jumps like a gearbox, and then it comes up, and then it'll come up 30 degrees change, and then it'll come down in 7 days later, chunk, and come up in a completely different place. This is, and again, our Enoch is the only cosmology that's been, and square flat Earth, that's been able to pull all of this together.
Yeah, supermoons are a little box.
Yeah, I put that in there as well. Supermoons, people. Supermoons means the moon is closer to us. It's bigger. It means they're lowering the magnetics in here. This is how they're manipulating. Very similar to a solar eclipse, but not the same. They're lowering the magnetics from 38,000 feet to, say, 33,000 feet to manipulate the timing of the clock.
Yeah, okay. Next one.
Yep.
Okay, then we have here a little the same.
These two memes go hand in hand. Who else? What other cosmology? The circle has no answers. The AE has no answers to where the phase change happens. The globe has no answer to where the phase change happens. Flat fact Earth, flat square fact Earth, Enoch 1. It's an electromagnetic realm. As the moons go past the magnetic edge of the Earth, it registers the either build-up of electromagnetic energy from the ether or from the sun, or it decreases. And it's no different than the battery on your mobile phone. And people, oh, how many bars do you have now on your mobile phone? How many bars do you have? Well, how many phases do you have? The moons are a battery. They're a generator like battery that, well, they power the sky. They power the plasma sky. And this is how they're, because I know here in Australia that I will see the new moon before, like New Zealand or the Pacific, Vanuatu or Solomon Islands. They will see the moon first. But I'm speaking from here. I see the new moon before anyone west. Everyone west, never, ever. And I will see the new phase also. Every time the new phase, I see it first. So it's showing you that, and Tesla and Enoch both state that the moons travel all around the world, not the sun. The sun doesn't, because what we see as the sun is not a mechanical necessity or part of the mechanics of our realm. It enters through the window. So it's only on the 180 degrees that the sun does its job. But the moons are the generator that go all around the world. And this is why the first 14 days, the moon fills up, and it's in Enoch, by increments from the sun's ether. And it fills up like a battery. And then in the last 14 days, it expends that energy, that magnetic energy, cold energy. It expends it on the axis point of the firmament, so that when it jumps back to the sun at conjunction, it moves the whole, I would say that moves the whole ring sideways to go to and moves the sun with it, to give us the next month, and change for the seasons. It changes everything, and this is why it uses and expends its energy in the last 14 days for that purpose. I'll also add that your aurora australis, which is your southern lights down here off Tasmania, they're there, and you've got your aurora borealis in Canada, which are there. That is the moon's magnetic energy working on the firmament, working on the axis. The southern and northern lights are the moon's magnetic energy doing what it's supposed to do, working the firmament for our seasons.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a motor. Yeah, electrical motor.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And if you look at all of the component names of an orbital electrical engine, they've actually, again, they're rubbing our nose in it. They've got the names in there that are actually telling us that that's what's going on outside as well. Yeah. I've got memes somewhere showing that, but that's another story.
It will be alright. That will come later, and we will follow the line. I will go to another one. That was this one.
Well, this one was a beauty too. You know, we were delving into this moon's rotation. You know, as it goes over the top of us. Now it's supposedly going over us on a level. Okay, well, how come it's rotating? And the variance of its rotation also, like you said to me, Mona, you can get some big rotations because you're higher than the Tropic of Cancer. You get 60-70% rotations in your moon.
135 degrees from 360 to 135.
Because you're so high. See? Yeah. Where I am, coincidentally, where I am here, I am virtually right underneath the Tropic of Capricorn. And when I see it, it depends on what gate it is outside. Because it depends on the angle of the projection to how much rotation on the level you get. If there's a big gap of where the moon's situation is outside, projecting in, hits on a level, as it comes around the roundness of the circle, but it's traveling on a flat line across the top of us. The spherical surface it's traveling in is actually turning it on the flat level in here, the projection. But it varies from what angle you're seeing it at.
Yeah.
Depends on then how much rotation each person sees on any pass. They can all be looking at the same pass, but get a different variation of rotation. But that rotation is caused by the moon's movement within the inner circle of the celestial sphere. It's that circular motion out there that causes the rotation on the flat in here.
Yeah, the maximum degrees I did see myself is 60, 20 back, and then 40 forward. But in theory, if you look at the moon, for me, if I look at it, it turns on the right side. For you, it will turn on the left side then, of course.
Yes, mate.
Yeah, so for you, it goes from, say, I just say 180, 190, 200 to 360. And for me, from the top to the right side to 135. But I did see only with 4 hours, in 4 hours, I did already see 60 degrees rotation. Yeah, not spinning, rotation, like a clock.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right, mate.
Okay, we go to the next one because you want to do this one too, and I have I have one more after this, and I will already show you for a little. That is this one, and that is the last one for now, I think.
Okay, how long have we been going for tonight already, Mona?
Let me see, 1.5 hours now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jeez, time flies.
Yeah, time flies. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. This is straight out of Enoch's book. Straight out of his book. You just got to read it slowly and think and read it again and again and again and again. And it's all in there, guys. 30, 30, 31. 30, 30, 31. 30, 30, 31. 30, 30, 31. Now, anyone that I think even got to kindergarten should be able to count that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lunar cycles. All right? Well, that's actually the solar cycles, but that's based off his lunar cycles. And Zen Garcia wants to tell you that Enoch says there's 13. Come on, guys. Somebody, and I personally, I wish people would stand up to these guys and say, hey, what are you doing? That's total rubbish. So anyway, there's your perfect clock. It's a perfect clock. And this was all pre the Tower of Babel, when they worked out how they could cause a destruction and stop the clock. 364 days, which also shows how Enoch is 6,000-year-old book. Predates all these other books. There's no tying Jesus to Enoch. Enoch's got nothing to do with Jesus. He's so far in advance of Jesus' narrative that it's crazy. You cannot join the two together. Now, then you go over to the Gregorian, which they spent about 4,500 years trying to invent the Gregorian calendar. And then it was only really in the last 200 to 400 years that they actually pulled this one together. Previous to that, they tried 2 and 3 different kinds of calendars to try and get one that could fool us. Well, they ended up with this one, the Gregorian, and it's just a total rubbish. And it's obvious, again, it's no different than the solar or lunar eclipses having no synchronicity about them. And in a perfect clock, there should only be synchronicity. But again, the Gregorian is all over the shop like a mad dog's breakfast. It's chaos. It's a lie. It's a blatant, in-your-face lie, trying to hide the fact that they have broken the clock. They broke the clock when they stopped the sun and the moon last time. When they stopped the engine last time, they broke the clock. And that is why Gregorian had to be worked at so rigorously for so long. Yet in Enoch, it's perfect. Tick tock, tick tock. Beautiful. Absolutely bloody beautiful. And this is in Enoch. Why haven't all of these, and you say it, Mono, but why haven't all of these you beauty scholars that are running around the earth doing conferences, why haven't they seen this? And yet it's very basic and it's in your face. Rob Skiba. And Garcia. And there's a list. The list is as long as your arm.
No, what I did talk about the conferences is that Mark Sargent and Patricia Steer are for real shields. That is sure for me, and I don't understand that people will work with them on conferences. That make me all suspicious, so to say. Understand that? I want to say something about this picture because we have the sidereal day and the lunar day, and the sidereal day is, I told, 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4 seconds, and if you add that all up to all hours, you make it again to dividing by 364. Then you, because the sidereal day is, if you add all up, 364 days already.
I'll show you in the next meme.
Yeah. Okay, we will go on to the last one, and there we go, Sam. The stage is yours.
Right.
Will I read it,
there's your side? No, you're right. There's your sidereal day. Gregorian sidereal day. Math lies. See, 5 minutes. It's 3 minutes and 53 seconds. By 4. Enoch days free. So 300. It's all there. What it eventually comes down to is the sidereal day is the relay of the sun, and they call it the precession of the equinox, but it's actually where the sun has been retarded in its timing from when they stopped the sun and the moon last time. And the Gregorian over all of this time has tried to give us something that works, where even if you do the maths now and get amongst it, they have a leap year every 4 years, but in fact, they still haven't got it right. So we should also, absolutely double leap year. We should have another leap year every 7 years. We should have one every 4 years, and we should have a leap year every 7 years. Every 7 and every 4, we should have a leap year. And it's another evidence of how they broke the clock because of Enoch. Without one Enoch, we would be buggered. We wouldn't have any show at all of getting to the truth. No show at all. It's only one Enoch that can show us the truth. The rest is lies. I know in Enoch where Noah is... He's panicking because the earth is inclining. Father, no, he's talking to Enoch. Father, the earth is inclining. What do I do? I'm scared out of my little knickers. And yet in the Bible, they want to talk about him being some sort of virtual God. And he's all in control and he built a big boat. Well, I'm sorry, Enoch's got the vote because Enoch's one physically proven, chapter 73, and got a bug in my eye. Chapter 73 is proven, and Enoch is some at least 1,500 years to 2,000 years older than any references in the Bible. So which one's who's true when Enoch's been physically evidenced? Bible hasn't. No, it hasn't. There's nothing in the Bible that you can physically evidence today. Where Enoch's given us our projections, he's given us our moon movements, he's given us so much, and yet, so again, back to the calendars, what Enoch is a perfect 364, where the Gregorian is 365 and a quarter or something, it shows you how big this lie is. This lie has been building since the last attack on the tower, the Tower of Babel. this whole lie has been building for that long. Azimuthal equidistant liars, they want to tell you that it's only been 500 years. Absolute ludicrous rubbish. Because Aristotle, which was 240 BC, he was the proponent that really took us from the circle pizza that they were inventing, Vedic, and he took us on to the ball. So there's 2,000 years, over 2,000 years. Then you can go back to the Pythagoreans and the Eratosthenes, where they stuck their 2 sticks in the ground and tried to prove a ball. Bullshit. There's 3,000 years. How are we going for that 500 years that the liars of the pizza want to tell you? We're back to 3,000. We can go to the Pythagoreans, which are mathematical gurus, apparently. Well, Enoch quite clearly states, what is the forbidden knowledge? Well, one of them was spelling. One of them was spelling, and the other was mathematics. So the Pythagoreans, the whatever they're called, Eratosthenes, there's your, this whole lie has been building since the Tower of Babel last. The occult have been in charge this whole time.
Yeah.
You're talking 4,500 years. So they talk about how they pass the baton to each other in each generation, in each generation. Well, I'm sorry to say, I think there's some other forces involved here that are steering the ship, that live a little bit longer than 110 years. Because this whole thing's been going a long time. And that's what that right-hand side meme is about.
Yeah.
It's a common sense thing. You've just got to do your research. Even in the Bible, where it says they stopped the sun and the moon for a day. While the Israelites, slain their enemy. Well, the Lord stopped the sun and the moon. Well, I'm sorry. I know I done these paintings here, and I'm not going to wreck those paintings for a couple of 100 horses and a couple of 1,000 soldiers. I'm not going to stop the sun and the moon. No. See, this is what people are just so ignorant, that this is the occult that stopped the sun and the moon. It's not the Lord. It's not the gods. It is the controllers of this realm. And this is why George W. Bush, Senior and Junior, this is why they said the great work. We will achieve our great work. Well, that great work is a lot greater than any azimuthal equidistant pizza flat earth is ever going to show you, because it's been going a lot longer, and they're going for the finish line.
Yeah, and we are here to stop them.
Yes, we are.
Yes, that's where
my passion comes from.
Yeah, but there is nobody coming. There will be, and also the awakening is also for most part put in there. Yeah, because they give us knowledge and of course change knowledge with a deceiving matter in it. But also that is controlled. As I said, the hippie time, a lot of people thought that the hippie time was a thing of the people, but it wasn't. It was all controlled. And that's why we need to watch very clearly where we fall into, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
So
a quick ad there on the end of that is, you just said it, there's nobody coming. Well, I'm not 100%. It's definitely no Jesus, that's for sure. Because in Enoch, he's very clear. It can't be argued with. He says to the angel that was standing at his right side, that he was standing beside the archangel, he says to him, who is that stands beside the right hand of the Most High host of heaven? And the angel looks at Enoch and says, he is the one that was chosen from the beginning for the end, the elect one. There's no Jesus there, people. They invented Jesus because of that particular line, because of that particular fact. hidden from the beginning till the end. Hidden has only one meaning. It means hidden. Jesus is not hidden. He's in everyone's face. It almost makes me want to. Sorry, I won't go there. It almost makes me sick. So it's very important that I do believe there's some sort of help, and it's got to be powerful help from the elect one. But who or what that is, I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know. We do get help though.
It can be energy, but we are energy, and I think that energy can also be gifted in a way, because we have the body and we have the mind and we have everything we need, and the mind is
That's right.
not so
Well,
important. Yeah.
I got the words a little bit wrong there, and Enoch said to the angel, "Who is that beside at the right hand of the Most High with the continence of a man?" He says the continence of a man. Didn't say a man. He said the continence of a man. He said the spirit of a man. That could mean 10,000 men. It could mean one. And exactly what you just said then, Mono. It well could be that it's a group of elect souls that wake up to their true ability in here with the continence, with the spirit of a man.
Yeah, it can be with the content, because that's, of course, content is also it's something is inside. Yeah.
Exactly. I hadn't thought of that, but I totally agree.
Yeah.
The content.
Yeah,
the
the
content.
content inside, because it has so much content in some things, so to say. So it can be inside us already. And they don't want to show that, of course, or have that, because if you are one of them, let's speak that it is a person with their content or that kind of thing. If you one of them, that you don't need to be exposed, because they are onto you, of course. Yeah, they don't can have that. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to just do an apology here tonight to people. I am very tired. I am very tired because Mono and I have been doing this now for 4 or 5 nights, and I don't know. I've been staying up to 1 a.m., 2 a.m. and being up again at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So I've got myself into a position where I'm very tired, and I want to apologise to anybody and everybody that if I sound a little bit short, I'm sorry. But I am a person that is very vulnerable to be, when I get tired, to lose a little bit of self-control. So I apologise to everybody. It's not my meaning. I am very passionate about this work. I think it's probably, I do believe 100% that this is the most important work that is being given to us in, I think, 6,000 years. And so I do get very passionate about it. And if I'm tired, I lose a little bit of self-control. So I do apologise to anybody that may have taken offence to anything that I've said. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I think you need to understand that when we came to the flat earth, we called the ball as a liar. And yeah, we do the same thing for if the model of the flat earth is not right, then we can do the same, of course. And we can say they are wrong or they are liars. It is the words you want to choose. But I think if you are saying things that are wrong and you are stand behind it, for real you are also lying. So I think there is not much said that is hurt anybody. We need to think and if you are a flat earther, you need to go to the truth, and that's where it's all about. So you can call somebody a liar. But for me, I think that. If you say wrong, people are wrong, that is better word choice. But I think you can use the words that you did use. I think that you don't did use wrong words today. So,
well, I appreciate that, Mono.
yeah.
I mean, I can say it because I know so well what's going on. I know the cosmology, and it's very clear in my mind. I know. But I've watched it now for 3 years, so I sort of know um, the lies from the truth. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. I mean, wrong is a better choice of word.
Yeah, but you need to
I agree.
understand. I think a lot of people are with you in the same position if they see that the EA map or the round Earth with the circle is not truth, because they feel to be lied to too. Because most people, as I said before, want to have a leader. I am not of that one of that person. I don't want to have anybody a leader. We are all equal and all on the same
We are.
line. That's my
We
thing.
are.
But I think a
Yeah.
lot of people will feel the same as you. But you came to another model and to another truth, and that make that you did feel hurt. And if other people did do the same, they will feel hurt. I am not like that. I don't feel hurt because I'm a theorist. I only see all this information until I come to things, because there can be logical things, more logical, and I
Mm.
did. That was my path. I did came from logic to more logic, more logic, more logic, to
Mhm.
the most logic for me.
Mhm.
This case, so to say.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
yeah, that's what
Okay.
it's all about. So
Yeah, I agree.
that's again my ego tell me that I'm an idiot if I listen to other people and feel hurt about it if they lie to, because my whole life, that is my opinion for myself, my whole life everybody lied to me, everybody keep to say we have Santa Claus and that is on December 5, and they told me from a kid off from 0 to 7 it's truth, it's he exists and that kind of thing, and that's the weird thing, parents lie to me, yeah, until I was 7, so to say. And then on my 8 or 9, I did lie to them, and then they slapped me because, and they didn't slap me, but for example, because I lie, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and yet they
it's
lied to
ridiculous.
you.
Yeah, but I'm a copy guy. I learned what they did, and I do the same. I copy. So you can lie. Yeah, that's the same thing. A little what I want to add maybe for people, because it is important. Because you are also, when you are in the belly, you can already learn the baby in the belly things with energy outside. If you are very angry with a woman that is pregnant, then the child will feel that energy, and people need to watch
Mm.
that. And I was in a pastor home because my father walks away when I was 9 months, and I wanted to tell you why I say this, because we did get candy from my mom, a whole bag of candy, me and my sister, and we put it in the closet, and with a lock on it. And what the leader did, they take it, and the next morning we wake up, we did go to the closet, and it was gone. And what she did, she was sharing all the candy to everybody. And I don't care about it. We were with 4 kids, so we did share already. But she didn't ask. So what in the next coming years came, when I was 13, 14, I did go to steal. And what I did was this. I didn't steal for myself. I did steal, and I see a whole box of openers for the beer can for the beer bottle, so to say. And what I did steal that, and I did give it to everybody, because I learned
Oh, shit.
in that home that if you have a lot, you can take it and share it to everybody. That's what I did learn there. So people need to understand that that is the copy thing. That's what I want to tell about it. Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous when I did think about it in the end. You know, when I
Yeah.
was older, I thought, oh, okay, it was only because I did learn it. Yeah? And that's
Yeah. Yeah.
I look at myself what I do. So now and then, now almost every day. But in the beginning, it wasn't so now and then. And I did look, because that's how I came to. I am copying the EA map. I am copying everything. Stop
Mm.
copying. You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I will leave it with that. If you want to
Yeah.
say something in the
Mm.
end, we will.
I just say I hope that people enjoy this, and we're going to keep going. And I thank you to anybody and everybody that pays attention to this. And please, like Mono just said, stop copying. Stop copying.
Yeah.
Take a lot of the information that we've presented here and think about it. It's all I've ever done is, like Mono said, I just use common sense. Um, and as Ocam's razor, and I think it's the only way. Truth is simple, and keep it simple, and you will find the truth. And when you do, it is a liberating experience. It really is to feel it inside you of how powerful this place really is that we live in, and what we are in it. So thank you to everybody that ever listens to this, and onwards and forwards. And I hope and pray that success is at the end of this journey. Then I'm sure there will be some work to be done, but success is the goal, and protection of children, and no more wars. Righto. So thank you, Mono. Thank you very much, my friend. And God bless everybody.
Yeah, I want to add one thing, that I want to also thank everybody for that helped in the group, and all pictures. And I want to thank all people that watch it, and I hope you are in the next part too, and that we can go on, and that Sam can show you how all for the rest works. So I want to end with this, and I want to say peace in the
Yes.
world. Later.
See yous.